a couple of weeks ago. It'll be a bit of fun, good laugh, but also a good chance to see some drivers we may not normally see in the normal league. Rules for the evening, just for those that don't know, it will be 5 races, 5 laps each. First race, the grid is set to random, so we don't know what order they're going to start. And then after that, it will be a reverse grid. If you finish last in one race, you start first in the next one. Normal real F1 points apply, so only the top 10 will get points. We have 5 races, as I said, and whoever's got the most points at the end of the evening wins. It's as simple as that. We saw this a couple of weeks ago. It was a good laugh. I believe I am on my own this evening, unfortunately, but it should still be a good event. Our first race we've got is at Russia this evening. There you can see a lineup of some of the drivers. Some of the names will be familiar to you for those who watch the regular Talk of the Devil F1 races. So we've got Jamie Keats in there, we've got Ollie, we've got Joe Newman, we've got Matt Ashman, we've got Scott Larvin. Stephen Harrison is joining. We've also got one of the managers, Joe Allen, is on this evening as well. We've got Sam Congreve in there as well. We've got 12 drivers, which is quite good, as only the bottom 2 won't get points. I may be having a commentary partner. I'm being told that possibly I might be having Fraser McKenzie joining me this evening, but I will soon find out. He may also be racing, I'm not sure yet. Or possibly even Stephen Harris, who is our F2 commentator. I'm not sure yet who's going to be joining me, but people are starting to ready up. So hopefully very soon we'll have this event up and running. We did this last Monday. Of course, it was a really good laugh, and it was won by Scott Larvin. Can he reclaim his crown this evening? And I am joined in the commentary box by Mr. Fraser McKenzie. Good evening, Fraser.
Good evening, Matt Dixon. It's great to have the OG commentary back together.
Indeed, yes, the original Talk of the Devil commentary team back together for one evening.
Yeah, and there'll be a lot more towards the tail end of this season, folks.
Yes, and I'll be on F1 as well for the whole rest of the season as well. Also, the other thing that's slightly different to last week is they're all driving the Formula 2 cars, which are completely different cars to drive to the F1 cars. So that should make the evening interesting, because of course some of these drivers won't be used to the F2 cars, will they, Fraser?
And I can speak from experience driving the cars. It is not, the traction isn't the best in the world. It's very easy to track.
Indeed, yes. And also I found them very difficult to set up as well, in terms of getting it right for the front end of the cars to turn in. I found them very understeery if you don't get the setup absolutely right.
Yeah, I think the differential's probably the biggest thing when it comes to these cars.
Definitely. So first race is at Russia, at the Sochi Autodrome. It's a nice fast track.
What a coincidence. What a coincidence that turns out to be the next track on the calendar.
Indeed, yes. One of those racetracks, it's a nice track to drive, but it never produces brilliant races, really, does it? A lot of the drivers like it for the slipstreaming down into turn 1, but we've never really had a classic Russian Grand Prix, have we? Unlike a lot of the other tracks on the calendar.
But here's hoping this is a sign of things to come. And I've just realised I clicked ready up instead of spectate.
Excellent. So great start to the evening.
There's always something with me.
That's
Forgot to
fine.
include my
And
order as well. That helps.
Okay, so good to hear you've been talking for the last 5 minutes and no one can hear you. So,
But yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
and to think you're a regular commentator, Fraser. I mean, you should know these by now.
Everyone gets one.
Indeed.
But yeah, as Matt
So
Dixon,
people starting to ready up. They're getting their setups on now. Everyone will.
Yeah, and as Matt Dixon said at the top of the broadcast, the OG commentary team back together this evening.
Please forgive me. What is OG commentary team?
Basically original.
Ah, right. Okay. Never heard that expression in my life.
No less. Here come the lights, and when they go out, it will be race time in Russia.
Yeah, so Stephen Harrison at the start. What a start by Ollie in the middle of the pack. Great start from him.
Stephen Harrison had a good start as well. And
Crash, there's a crash. Two cars off in the background.
That's Scott Larvin out.
Scott Larvin's, yes, our current champion at this event. He is out of the race already.
Not a good start to the evening for him.
And another spinner. Matt Ashman spun as well down into turn 2. But Joey Allen has taken the lead.
Well, how's about that? A 3-second penalty for Joe Newman for ignoring yellow flags.
They're very difficult down there in turn 1. There's so much going on. It's easy to do. So we've got Joey Allen from Stephen Harrison. These two race together, of course, in the first couple of seasons of TOTD. And they're reunited on the track now. Ollie up to 3rd. And Liam Hardman up into 4th place.
Yeah, we've got a few TIR races this evening because it was either Monday night or yesterday that it was announced that Talk of the Devil is now part of the Total Impact Racing Esports Network.
Yes, that was Monday on the 10v10 broadcast. That was announced. Very exciting for the future. I'm really looking forward to this partnership. I think it'd be great for both leagues.
Absolutely, yeah. Can't wait to see what happens towards the tail end of the season, especially with the new game. Smithy!
Yes, TIR Smithy with a lot of oversteer.
He's lost the place.
Yeah, I mean, you've been part of this league from the beginning as well, Fraser. It's great to see how much it's developed. If you think back to the first race we commentated on, we struggled to get a full grid most weeks, whereas now we're up to possibly even 3 divisions for next season. It's going to be absolutely great to see. So Joey Allen leads at the end of lap 1, and look at Ollie coming up the inside of Stephen Harrison. That is a great move. Great. Stephen Harrison hanging on around the outside. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. Into turn 3, I think Stephen will have the advantage there. So yes, Stephen hangs on to 2nd. Joey Allen still leading, but pulling away slightly. Stephen Harrison in 2nd. Trying to look down the grid. TIR Smithy and DWB Basher and Jamie Keats is in there as well. I think he's Basher part of F2, I believe, and I think Mace is as well. I think they're both F2 drivers. They're trying to shine against the F1 teams. Of course, last few races of the league for the F1 season, and trying to impress to get a seat in F1 next season as well.
Absolutely. Ollie had another crack at Stephen, and this time he made it stick. Now up into 2nd place.
Indeed, yes. So, meanwhile, Joey still pulling away out front, nearly a 2nd clear now. DRS will become enabled at the end of this lap. So he can break the DRS. So that's going to give him a big advantage because it's worth a lot round here with that long run from the middle of turn 1 down to turn 2, and then of course on the back straight as well.
Absolutely. And this section of the track here, it is very difficult to get it right because if you end up cutting one of the corners, it could invalidate your whole lap around the course to qualify. And that small straight there we just saw coming through shot there. There was a small issue there in the TOTD race where the wall got dislodged and it out almost half the field.
Yes, I remember that, yes. People kept crashing into it, they didn't realise it was there. Meanwhile, Matt Ashley's on a fight back through the field. He's up into 9th place now as... I remember Stephen has retired at the back. Stephen has retired. So a fellow commentator is out of the race.
Yeah, that's just at the end of the back straight there.
Yes, indeed. And Sam Congreve and Basha having a great fight here for 7th place. And Matt Ashford is right behind them as well. And that is a great little train there. We've got TIR Smithy, Sam, Basha and Matt Ashford with Mason not far behind them as well, as Basha runs extremely wide through turn 4. At the moment, TIR Smithy.
Meanwhile, a little further ahead, Liam Hardman managed to get ahead of Stephen into 3rd place. Of course,
yes, and Ollie is closing. Look how close Ollie is to the back of Joey Allen right now. He's going to have DRS down this back straight. Penalty for Liam as well. That's could be crucial in a 5-lap race. But look at this. Here comes Ollie. He's going down the inside. That's brave to hang it around the outside, try and break and turn it at the same time, and he's making it stick. But Joey's got the inside line.
Yes, he can. Still the side by side.
Joey's got the inside for the next chicane, and I think he's going to make it. Look at this. These two are absolutely wheel-to-wheel. Great driving by the pair of them. And they're still giving each other room. And Ollie is in the lead. Ollie is taking it. That's a brilliant move. But look out, folks, down the next straight, because Joey Allen's going to have the DRS in the middle of turn 1. It's an odd DRS zone here. It's in the middle of turn 1. And I think he's going to have to run into the first corner. It just depends on straight line speeds. They're not great here, the straight line speeds in the F2 cars. But here comes Joey Allen. He's got past again as he under braking. And just a power, I think.
He makes it.
He makes it stick. Great move.
Action between the two.
And Joe Newman spun. He's a long way back at the back of the field anyway.
He's lost one of his end plates.
Yes, he's got very hot rear tyres now. He's going to struggle to keep that on the road. Great fight going on here as well. Look at Liam Hardman up in 2nd place. Liam's round the outside.
Stephen's dropped a couple of places. Stephen dropped a couple of places.
Yes.
Ollie got past them as well. And Smithy got ahead of Sam into 7th place. Now, for those that are tuning in for the first time this evening with regards to this event and wondering how it works is it's a random grid for the first race, and it's 5 laps for each of the 5 races. Random grid for the first race, and then the next 4 it's reverse grid based on either championship standings or where they finished in the previous race.
Oh, and Liam Hardman's going for the lead round the outside. That's going to be great for breaking there. And Liam Hardman, can he hang on?
He's going to have the inside line.
But Joe Allen's hung on. Joe Allen who takes the lead. And Liam and Ollie wheel to wheel. This is great racing. Wheel to wheel, they're all giving each other space. This is absolutely brilliant.
And Joe Allen, the action. He wants a piece of it as well. Oh, what's happened to Stephen?
Stephen spun.
That is really unfortunate for him.
It doesn't enable him to start a bit higher up in the next race, of course. Joey Allen leads into the final lap of the race. Jamie Keats has overtaken Ollie. Jamie Keats takes 3rd.
Yes, please.
So Joe Allen, Liam Hardman, those two are the closest to 5th place. Matt Ashton's recovered well. He spun in the first corner. He's recovered up into 5th place. I don't think he's going to be able to go much further though. He's a little way behind. Sam and Smithy very close together as well in turn 3.
Yeah, Sam gets back up into 6th as a result of that.
Top 4 so close.
All within DRS range of each other.
Of the lap. I think Joe's got a bit of an advantage. He's got 8 tenths up. That's going to be difficult to close in the DRS. It's the 3 behind, especially Liam and Jamie. Very, very close.
Jamie had a look at Liam.
So,
thought better of it.
Yes, and I think that might just give Jamie a bit of a slingshot down this back straight. Well, I say straight, it's 2 long curves really. Let's have a look. Jamie's deep in the slipstream. I don't think he's going to be quite close enough unless he lunges.
Disqualifications for Stephen. Multiple penalties.
Yes, and Jamie's up the inside. And Jamie and Liam very close together. Joey Allen has
Still side by side with
lead.
Liam.
Look at this. As Jamie does take second place. And Joey Allen, meanwhile, coolly is going to come through and take the race victory. And look at Ollie and Liam as well in the background. They're very close. Joe Allen wins the first race. Jamie Keats comes home in second. Ollie hangs on to third ahead of Liam Hardman. Matt Ashman's going to take fifth place.
He goes up to
Sam is going to take sixth. And look at this. This is Smithy and Mason very, very close as they cross the line. Smithy just takes the place. Smithy takes sixth ahead of Mason. Sam takes seventh. Bash is going to be 8th place, and then a long way back. He's had a couple of spins in this race. Joe Newman is coming through. He's 50 seconds down at the back of the field, but he's going to come through and take the last position. They're the only 10 finishers.
Yeah, of course, we had Stephen Harris with a DNF, Scott Marvin with a DNF, and Stephen Harrison with disqualification for his accumulation of penalties. But what it will mean,
I do believe that will mean he'll start on pole position for the next race.
Absolutely.
So it'll be Stephen from Scott Larvin from Stephen Harris. That is going to be the top 3 on the grid, and Joe Newman 4th. So not a great result for Joe. He still gets a point, but he will start 4th on the grid for the next race.
So that was a great battle for the win in the end.
Indeed, yes. So there we see our race winners on the podium. So as we now wait for race 2, I can't quite remember where the second race is, but I'm sure we'll soon find out.
Yep.
There we see confirmation. Joey Allen wins from Jamie Keats. Those are pretty much the only 2 not to get penalties there. Ollie takes 3rd. Matt Ashman in the end with penalty countback gets 4 ahead of Liam. Smithy 5th, Mason 6th, Sam 7th, Sam in 8th, Basher in 9th, Joe Newman 10th. Then we got the 2 DNFs and 1 disqualification.
Yeah.
So, taste of things to come.
Yeah, and another great way of seeing how far the league has expanded. It's the quality of the racing between these drivers, especially those that were battling for the win at the end.
Yes, a lot of respect shown between all the drivers there up the front. I mean, they were wheel to wheel through 3 or 4 corners in a row, but no major incidents or accidents between those top 4. So very, very good driving from the lot of them. We saw the spins and crashes in turns 1 and 2. That does happen, unfortunately, when you're this close on equal cars as well. So into the second race, which is going to be in Austria. So it'll be another slipstreaming epic there as well. So we've just a couple of minutes break now while they wait as they sort out the rest of the grid and the placings.
So yeah, while we're waiting for everyone to get ready, what's happened on my end is the admin team know, the racers know, and time to make it public now. As of this past weekend, I decided to step back from racing to focus on the media side. On the media side of things, running the YouTube channels and putting the highlight reels together. The highlight reel I'm working on at the moment is it's a season-long highlight reel with all the best bits from every single race, and I've got between 5 to 10 minutes of highlights from each of the races that we've done. I'm up to Canada as far as the editing is concerned. So based on that, at the very most, the highlight reel for the whole season could be about 3 hours long. So that'd be a great way to spend your evening, just reliving the very best moments of TOTD Season 3, edited by yours truly.
Yes, a great way to kill boredom at the moment.
Especially given the circumstances.
Yes, indeed. Anything will be good. And also as well, for any of the drivers watching on the stream that haven't seen the post on the Facebook group page, I will also be hosting a Formula 1 quiz tomorrow on Zoom. I will be doing the research for the questions later on. So if everyone can download Zoom, if anyone wants my email address to add me on there, just please private message me or message on the group chat, and we're going to do a Formula 1 quiz. I have cleared it with Callum this evening, so it will be up and running tomorrow. I will confirm the time on the group chat on Facebook once it's all confirmed. But
yeah,
a bit of fun,
yeah,
and hopefully we can have a bit of a laugh with that tomorrow evening.
Absolutely, definitely looking forward to that.
But judging by the way you were on my other quiz I did on another Facebook page, Fraser, I think I'm going to ban you from the quiz, I think.
Understandable, given my vast knowledge of Formula 1.
I might just do a private one with you and try and find some random F1 facts and see how much you actually know.
Oh, that'll be fun. Because one of the questions in the quiz that Matt put together recently was the 10 British drivers that became Formula 1 world champion. And I got the full list. And I even said, surely that deserves a bonus point for getting the full list.
And it didn't, so there we go.
Fair play, fair dues. And we have a wet
and
race.
This race
is going to be good.
Is absolutely pouring with rain.
Hope we've all got
so for anyone who's struggling, when we saw Joe struggling with oversteer in the last race, it's going to be doubled in this race. And it looks like it's going to be full wets as well, not even intermediates. It's going to be absolutely full wet conditions by the looks of it.
Yeah, the F2 cars don't even have intermediate tyres.
I didn't know that, so there we go. So it's going to be full wet tyres, and it's going to be, well, turn 1 and turn 2 here is going to be, I think, a crash fest.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a
turn 1 at Russia, where it's a very easy turn 1, and we saw accidents. So look out for here. Difficult braking zone, uphill.
Absolutely.
So Joe Allen's going to start at the back.
I'll let you take care of the start on this one.
No problem. So the 5 lights are coming on. And lights out. Away we go. It's a great start for Scott Larvin. And Stevens had a good start as well. Stephen in third place, and one of the other cars. Stephen Harrison's riding. Stephen trying to come to the inside. There's contact. Stephen's going to be spun round. He got hit from behind us, and there's another spinner in the middle of the pack there as well. I think Joe Newman spun as well. But Mason has taken the lead. Scott Larvin very cautious in turn 1, but Mason does have front wing damage. That's going to really affect him in the wet. But Mason takes the lead from Scott Larvin. Matt Ashman up into third place, and Mason's run very wide, really struggling with that front wing. Matt Ashman's the only one to keep it on the track, and Matt takes the lead. And there's another spinner. And Stephen has spun at the back again as well. But Mason's had such a run out of turn 3. Oh, and there's contact. Matt Ashman spinning. He's across the grass.
I think
he's going to be in the gravel.
Ashman's got damage now.
Yeah, he's so difficult. You want to get your braking point right. And Matt Ashman caught out there by Mason's braking. And Mason's got a lot of damage. Mason's got a lot of damage on his front wing. I think Mason's going to have to stop with that level of damage. I think Scott Larvin is damage free, and Stephen Harrison somehow has recovered up into third place. Yes, he has. Matt Ashman is fourth, just
Scott
ahead
Larvin,
of Sam Congreve.
Yes, Scott Larvin with no damage whatsoever.
Surely Mason's going to have to pit with that level of front. No, he's staying out, so he's braving it.
That's a bold move.
Almost half his front wing is gone. That half of that left front wing has gone, but he is in the lead from Scott Larvin. Joe Newman is pitting, and look at this, up into Allen's taking Sam into turn 1. That's going to be brave. Sam trying to brave it out around the outside. And Matt Ashman in there as well, so Joey Allen gets it. Great race from Joey Allen. Don't forget, started at the back after winning the last race. He's up into 4th. If I remember rightly, when he was racing in TOTD, he was very good in the wet conditions.
Absolutely, he was.
If I remember
absolutely, he was a great teammate with Callum Harris in season 1. Went on to win the constructors champion. He went on to win the constructors championship. Well, Callum went on to win the constructors championship and the drivers championship with Stephen Harrison as his teammate, and then Stephen jumped ship to. Well, he stuck with Mercedes, but then Callum Harris transferred to Ferrari midway through season 2.
Yes, and Sam and Ollie getting very, very close to the battle for 6. That was brave by Sam, hung on around the outside of turn 4. I keep on getting these corners confused, so they've added an extra corner here, haven't they? But turn 4 there, and he's just about hung on to what is at the moment 6th place. But Mason, despite that front wing damage, is pulling away in the lead. He's coming up to 2 seconds at times now in the lead. That is great with that level of front wing damage. Well, the only thing I can think of, we were saying earlier about the oversteer on these F2 cars, and especially in the wet conditions, the fact he's got damage on his front wing will probably mean there's more downforce now on the back than on the front, so it's probably actually giving him a bit extra traction. As weird as that may sound, I actually think the front wing damage is counteracting the oversteer from these F2 cars and, of course, the wet conditions.
Blessing in disguise for Mason, if that's the case.
Oh, and Stephen's thrown it up the inside of Scott, and he's run wide. I think Scott's going to have that position back, but that was brave by Stephen, and he's off the track.
Yeah, he's back down
Stephen's dropped 2 places. Joey Allen back up into 2nd.
And
what a drive by Joe.
And I've noticed on the signboards of the Campos, the Campos is the orange car, I said the Campos team, they're sponsored by the WTF1 team.
Yes, indeed, yes. So now Mason's lead is 3.5 seconds. Can Joe do enough in the last 2 and a bit laps to close that up? He's really got a lot of oversteer there, Joe, but has he got the pace? He hasn't got any damage, unlike Mason, so he might be able to start closing that gap. Scott, I think, he's just playing the percentage game here. He's hanging on for 3rd.
Well, Joe is starting to close the gap. He's taken just over half a second out of Mason on that last lap.
Yes, and Matt Ashford is back into 7th place. Or is he? Jamie Keats gets past him, but Jamie had a great one at the final corner, and he's made it stick. He's got a little bit of front wing damage. In fact, both end plates have gone on that car. I do apologise for anyone watching the stream. I don't actually know the names of the F2 teams. I know there's Carlin and Kramer and BWT and Sauber Junior, but I don't actually know which cars are which, so I do apologise for anyone watching. As Stephen again tries to get past Sam, or he's trying to hang on ahead of Sam. But now, Stephen's had a great run out of turn 3, and he's going to go up the inside of Scott Larvin. This is Brave. Who's going to be bravest on the brakes? You don't want to overcook it, because we've already seen what happens when you overcook it. And he's made it stick. So Stephen Harrison up into 3rd place now. And Joey's taken a 2nd out of Mason in about a lap. So it's going to be close. But I think Mason might just, as long as he doesn't make a mistake, be able to hang on to this. I still can't believe how well he's doing with half the front wing on really. Very, very good drive.
I mean, he must know something.
Quite the carnage I was expecting. Yeah, not quite the carnage I was expecting into the first few corners. Was definitely contact, but I was expecting to see cars flying off the road. It's not happened so far. Very, very wet. Now offline. And now Ollie fastest lap. And I do believe they do get the point for the fastest lap as well, I believe.
Absolutely.
So that could be important. That could be important. Mason now a 2.5 clear of Joe. Joe's taking quite a lot out of him in these last couple of corners into the final lap. Can Mason hang on? Stephen Harrison pulling away from Sam for 3rd place, but he's 3 seconds back on Joe, so I think 3rd is the best he can hope for. Still very close behind. There's a great battle going on. Oh, as Scott Larvin makes a mistake, he is slipping down the field, unfortunately. As Scott Larvin's really made a mistake there, coming out of turn 3. So Sam is up to 4th, Ollie up to 5th, Jamie Keats 6th, Scott Larvin's now dropped to 7th, Matt Ashman's dropped back somewhere as well. He's now in 8th place, and Matt's off again, and so is Scott Larvin. They're all going off at turn 4. TIR Smithy off, and
it is very easy to run right on that corner.
Yeah, downhill braking zone, not what you want in the wet at all there. But Mason, I've got to say, this is a stunning drive. Half his front wing has gone, and he's been able to come through, and I haven't seen any time penalties come up from him either. So I think this will be a victory for Mason. F2 driver really showing his worth against some of the F1 drivers here. Mason wins. No, he doesn't. Joe Allen snatches it. Yes. And Stephen with penalty countback dropped back to 5th place. Jamie Keats takes 6th. And now waiting for the others to come through. TIR Smithy's going to say, oh, there's contact as they come over the line. There was contact there. I don't think Matt Ashman quite knew that Scott Larvin was alongside him, and there was contact as they went over the line. Scott lost. Matt Ashman moved to the right and just touched Scott, and in these conditions he just spun round. But Scott takes 8. Stephen Harris comes home. No, very confusing. Stephen Harrison and a Stephen Harris. So I'm just going to call him Finish because it makes it easier. It doesn't any confusion. So Finish comes home in 9th place. Matt Ashman in 10th. Bash in 11th. And again, Joe Newman a long way back for the second race in a row. He's going to come home in 12th position. But it means that once again, Joe Newman's going to start right at the front for the last race. But he's had no points from the first 2. But Joe Allen, well, 2 wins. And that was good, really. He had some great overtaking skills, kept out of the trouble in the first couple of corners. And thanks to the penalty countback, he takes his 2nd win in a row. Didn't expect to see that in these conditions. I really didn't.
And I think that just goes to show the pedigree of driver that Joe Allen is.
Yes, definitely. Personally, I think he's wasted as a manager. I think it'd be great to have him on the track in the F1 league. He's a very, very good driver, very fair. So there we see the celebrations as we come through. Just trying to get onto the results screen from this race. There we see confirmation. Joe Allen wins. Mason first across the line, but the penalty means he finishes 2nd. Sam Congery comes home 3rd, and he gets an extra point for fastest lap as well. Ollie 4th, Stephen Harrison 5th, Jamie Keats in 6th, Smithy comes home 7th. Scott Larvin, despite crashing, he went across the line backwards, which was quite impressive. He comes home 8th. Finish comes home 9th. Matt Ashman, also with penalties, finishes 10th, gets the last point. Bash at 11th, and Joe Newman in 12th. So just waiting now. People running this event will now be furiously trying to sort out the grid for the next race. So hopefully that won't be too long. So there'll be a couple of minute gap until we start the next race. Again, I'm very sorry. I did look at the order of what tracks we're going into, but I can't actually remember what the next track is. But we'll soon find out, and I'll see you again in a couple of seconds. And here we go for race 3. It's going to be at Hungary. There is the points table as it stands. Joey Allen with a perfect 50 at the top of the table. Jamie Keats on 28th. You got to say it's Joey's to lose at the moment, really, isn't it? Jamie Keats on 28 points, 22 points down. But one bad race for Joe and a win for Jamie could see him back in contention. Ollie third on 27, Mason on 24, and Sam on 21. Very close between those four. The rest of the points: Smithy on 14, Matt Ashman on 13, Stephen Harrison on 10, Liam Hardman on 10 as well, Scott Larvin on 4 points. The other Steve is on 2. Basher's also on 2. Joe Newman has got a single point so far. So they are the point scorers. All 13 cars have scored a point so far in this event, which is great to see.
And
despite you giving up the driving, you're not tempted to join the event next week then, Fraser?
I might give it a go next week, but we'll see what happens. But like I said, I'm stepping back from the league race and focusing on getting the highlight reels put together at the moment. But you summed it up perfectly there. One bad race is all it can take to change the course of this evening.
Indeed, yes. Yeah, I'm tempted to take part next week as well. I haven't actually done a league event for a very long time, so I'm actually tempted to do it next week. So look out, everyone. At least if I race, everyone will be guaranteed to not be last, which is, I'm sure everyone will be pleased about. So Hungary is the next race. This is a completely different track to what we've had so far. Difficult to overtake on.
Yeah,
slow corners.
It's often been called Monaco without the barriers.
Yeah, I mean, it's since they redid the track back in 2003. Was the first event we had with the new track. It has been better for overtaking with turn 1 with the pit straight extended, and then they also did turn 12 as well. It has been better for overtaking, but it is still difficult. You've got to have the car really right behind. Another car down the pit straight, because it's not the longest pit straight here. I was amazed to hear that the pit straight here is actually shorter than the second straight at Azerbaijan. Gives you an idea of just how short the straight is here in comparison to other tracks. So it is difficult to overtake. And again, car setup is key here, because it's difficult to follow other cars through those faster corners through the middle of the track. It's very difficult to follow in there with all the turbulent air coming off the car in front of you. So car setup could be key here.
Absolutely. But while we're waiting for everybody to get their setup on their car, have you placed your pre-order for F1 2020 yet?
No, because some of us are poor.
Well, I've managed to get my pre-order placed for the Schumacher edition of the game.
Yeah, I'm probably going to buy mine as it comes out, because my partner said he's going to buy that for me for my birthday, so...
Fair dues.
My birthday's in July. It comes out in mid-July, so it'll be probably an early birthday present, I hope. Currently sat in the room next to me, so hint, 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 nudge, nudge, nudge.
I wouldn't be too surprised.
Just one thing very quickly on the new game. I know we're not going to talk about it too much, but I'm really looking forward to the build your own team on the new game. That is going to be... I think that is a cracking inclusion into the new career mode, but more of that when it comes out.
Absolutely. I'll say one thing I'm really hoping is that you're able to get your driver to be part of your team.
I think you can, from what the things that I saw. It's you choose your teammate, your engine supplier, your sponsors, etc. But you drive with your team. I think you can leave your team and leave it to his own devices. But I think fundamentally, it's going to be your team to try and build up the grid. A little bit. It reminded me a little bit of. I don't know if you remember, Fraser. Jacques Villeneuve sort of went to Tyrrell, which became BAR, to try and build them up. I'll let you do the start on this race, Fraser.
So the lights go out, and it is race time at Hungary. Not the best start there for Stephen, but relatively clean. Jamie's had a pretty poor start. Matt Ashman's gained a place or two. And all slight contact there.
That's brave. Well done, Matt. He managed to get that.
second place
He
already.
breaks
Cool as you like it.
so late there.
That's
Matt
sad.
Ashman breaks so late there into turn 1. How did he not collect another car? Well, that was brilliant by Matt up into second.
Sam Smithy had a spin at the exit of turn 1.
Yes, Mason's got a penalty, ignoring the yellow flags. Again, difficult when it's turn 1. It's very difficult to do that when there's an incident turn 1. And Smithy's been disqualified.
I
think he was trying to turn the car round.
Wrong way
Yeah, I
on
think
the
he was trying
track,
to turn
and he
round.
looked
And
no front wing on this car whatsoever.
Liam Hardman, though, look at the lead he's putting out. Over a second already from Matt Ashman, who's more interested in Joe Newman right behind him. So those two having a great fight and finished just behind them in 4th place. So those two having a good fight, but Liam Hardman is pulling away here. I think he won a race last week in this event as well, so he obviously likes this event.
Yeah, I mean, what a start from Joe Newman though. He was rock bottom of the pack, and he's all the way up into 3rd after the first lap.
I think he started on pole, didn't he? He finished last in the last race, so I think he started on pole position. But Liam Hardman, look at the lead, 1.7 seconds after 1 lap. What an opening lap from Liam Hardman. And in a 5-lap race, a 2-second lead is pretty much, as long as you keep it on the road, that could be all you need really. Ollie Pitts, but look at what we were saying earlier, Joey Allen, if he has a poor race, he's down in 9th place at the moment, only getting 2 points. Jamie's up in 5th as it stands, getting 10. That's going to close the gap right down, and Jamie's on the tail of finished Joe Newman and Matt Ashman. So if Jamie can get himself up into 2nd with Joey Allen not going any further, that could really close the points right up here.
Absolutely, that'll definitely make things very interesting.
Matt's coming back on this lap. Matt's closed the gap up by a couple of tenths so far. But this is what I was saying earlier. If you can just keep it calm in the lead, keep it on the road, it's difficult to overtake even if Matt does close up here.
Yeah. One of the strategies I had as far as my racecraft was concerned, as Jamie gets ahead of finishing to 4th. One of the strategies I had as far as my racecraft was concerned was if I'm battling with another driver and I manage to coax them into making a mistake, I take advantage of that mistake. Thank you very much. Sayonara.
Indeed, yes. But the thing is, on a track like this, from my experience of racing around here, both sort of career mode and in a few sort of online events, it's the sort of track, if you do pressure someone off the track, I find it so easy to follow them off. Where the corners sort of follow one to another, you're sort of watching the car ahead of you, trying not to hit them, and then they go wide, and you kind of find yourself falling off in sympathy, really. It's so easy to do around here. Probably more here in Monaco and maybe Singapore, probably the 3 easiest tracks to do that, and maybe Azerbaijan as well. It's so easy to do because you're trying so hard to watch the car ahead of you.
Yeah, Stevens dropped a long way down the order. Meanwhile, what happened to him? And he's
Ollie's a long way back as well. He's made a stop.
Stephen managed to keep it out of the
Matt
Ashman.
Yeah, Matt Ashman, he's just chipping away at the lead. He's down to 1.1 seconds. And he's now pulled away by 2.5 seconds from Joe Newman. There's a lot bigger gaps between the cars here than we've seen in races so far this evening. The closest battle is between Finish in 5th place and Scott Larvin in 6th, with Mason right behind them as well. So that is the battle for 5th, 6th and 7th. It's quite stable up the front. Jamie Keats just closing up a little bit on Joe Newman. And through the middle part, and there's a spinner, I think, yes, Mason spun. He was wheel to wheel with Scott Larvin. I think there might have been a touch of contact. Just a little bit, not major contact. I can't see any damage. And Mason spins down to 7th place. But Scott Larvin was so happy to win this event last weekend. He was so happy on such a high. And I know it's a bit of fun and a bit of a laugh, but he'll be a little bit disappointed to not be right up there again. But you never know. Still 2 races to go after this. And Liam's pulled away again. And Joe Newman and Jamie Keats very, very close together down into turn 1. Joe's just held on to the inside line. But Jamie Keats does the undercut. That was brilliant by Jamie.
Gets him on the switchback.
Jamie Keats, yes, up into 3rd place. And this is crucial for the championship because Joe Allen's still only in 7th place. So Jamie really closing up in the points here. So So the other close battle on track is actually Joe Allen. He's got Basha and Sam. I don't actually know what Basha's name is, but they're battling up for 7th place. As Stephen Harrison retires. Stephen Harrison has retired. I think he may have spun coming out of the last corner. Yes, he has. He spun coming out of... Oh, he's in the pits, I think. He's retired.
Yeah, he retired.
It could be tactical from him. Could be tactical because, of course, he will now start on the front row for the next race. Smith will be on pole for the next race. And Stephen Harrison will be alongside him.
He's actually left the session. That's interesting.
So maybe some technical issues there. But Liam Hardman, meanwhile, has pulled the gap back out to 1.8 seconds. He's looking really in control here. These two actually have dominated this race because they are matching each other for lap time. But Matt Ashman is... Sorry, Jamie is nearly 4 seconds off the lead, which is a lot in a 5-lap race. Joe Newman is 4th, looking comfortable as well, finish up to 5th. Joe Allen and Sam having a great battle through the final corner, teammates here, or in the same car at least. And Sam's had a great run out of the final corner, but Joe's still got the inside line, and he's got DRS, and he pulls back alongside. Ooh, Sam did a shoot back on Barrichello there, squeezing right up against the pit wall, but Joe Allen's still up the inside. There's good traction on the outs. There's good traction on the outside of turn 1 there, and Sam used it to his advantage, and he's got the inside for turn 2. And there is only really one path through there, and Sam retakes 7th position. Wow, great driving by those two. Got to say, there's been great driving by everyone all evening so far. Really, really has. Been a few mistakes and front wings going, but all in all, when cars have been alongside each other, great driving by everyone. Joe Allen gets a penalty. So Liam now, nearly 2 seconds in the lead. He's on the final lap. And, well, I'm really happy to see this. Liam, an F2 driver, and he's beating a lot of the F1 drivers fair and square here. Matt Ashman, of course, on the fringes of F1 once again. Jamie Keats, Joe Newman, Scott Larvin, Sam Congreve, they're all in F1. And Liam Hardman comes round the final corner, and he is going to win the race. So Liam wins. Let's have a look if there's any penalties. Matt Ashman crosses the line in second. No, they do keep the win. Jamie Keats has spun across the line.
Oh my!
Jamie Keats. Well, lucky for him, that was the last lap, but he takes 3rd. Joe Newman in 4th. Here comes finish. Scott Larvin closed up a lot in the final lap, but they take 5th and 6th. Sam Congreve is going to take 7th ahead of Joe Allen. So Sam did get ahead, but Basha actually takes 7th. Because penalties for Sam and Joe means they drop back to 8th and 9th place. Mason 10th. And he wasn't far away from getting the pair of them as well with the penalty count back. Ollie is the last runner. He pitted at the end of lap 1. And he's going to come home in 11th. But he will line up 3rd on the grid for the next race. So, wow.
Action-packed race all the way there.
It was indeed. But this is another reason I love this league. The driving is so fair between everyone. They're wheel to wheel. Everyone makes mistakes and it's easy to do. But I've got to say, this evening there has been some brilliant wheel to wheel action. There really has, all the way through. Even in the rain, I was expecting a lot more actions in the rain, but it's not happened.
Oh, you're wondering what you were wondering about Basha's name. It's Dave Woodbridge.
Yes, I knew that. I did know that, actually. So, it's nice to have someone with a different name. There's so many Steves and Matts in the league. It's unreal. So it's nice to have someone with a different name.
Yeah.
I think on commentary the other week, I think I had 3 Matts racing. Just to really confuse me. So,
yeah, and we've got a couple of Anthony's as well. But anyway, the results for that race, Liam Hardman taking the win, Matt Ashman in 2nd, Jamie 3rd, gets the fastest lap of the race, Joe Newman in 4th, finished 5th, Scott Larvin 6th, then Broadbridge, Sam Congreve, Joe Allen and Mason, that's your top 10, and then it's Ollie, Stephen and Smithy.
Yes, so, and like we said, Joe Allen only 9th, only picking up 2 points. Jamie Keats was right behind him in the championship. He finished third, picking up 15 points. So there was 22 or 24 between them. Jamie Keats pulls back 13 in that race, and look how close it is now. Joey Allen, 52 points. Jamie Keats on 45. Don't rule out Liam if he has another good race. He's on 35 with Matt Ashman on 31. The rest of the point scorers, Ollie on 27. We've got Mason and Sam tied on 25. Then we've got Smithy on 14. Smithy, I really feel for Smithy. He's got caught out a couple of times in incidents on the track, and I think he could have had a much better results than he's shown so far, but he's on 14 points. Joe Newman on 13, Finish on 12, Scott Larvin on 12, Dave is on 8. So like I said, everyone scored points, which is great to see. On to race 4, which is Monza. They're just sorting out the grid now. So Italy's going to be another slipstreaming epic. If anyone saw the 10v10 with the TIR League on Monday, there was some brilliant racing there, action all the way through, but it was a slipstreaming epic. Groups of cars just not able to break away from each other. Top 4 were very close together, then from 5th to about 10th were very close together all the way through the race. So this should be good. And an older style racetrack, narrow, very fast, so the slightest error could cost you big here, but there's normally a couple of lines into each corner you can break and get alongside. That's why we always have good races at Monza. I never really remember a dull Monza race, to be honest, in real life. It's always a cracking race, one of my favourites on the calendar.
Yeah, it is definitely one of those races that fans look forward to every year. But my word, the fast at the end of qualifying last season, though.
Yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous. It really was. I personally feel that they all deserved a reprimand for that, because that's supposed to be putting on a show for the fans, for everyone watching at home, and they just completely ruined it. But that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, it's one of these races, when I watch it on TV when it's live, you can feel the atmosphere from the Tifosi more than at any other racetrack. Even when you're just watching it on TV, the Tifosi always gives such a great atmosphere. Silverstone is very similar as well when they cheer at Silverstone. Yeah. You almost feel completely involved, I think, more than at any other racetrack. It is a great race to watch.
Yeah, and if I had the choice between the two as far as where to go for my first Formula One race, like actually going to a race, I mean, distance-wise, I would say Silverstone without a doubt, but yeah, I would definitely have to agree with you regarding the Tifosi. I would definitely go for Monza.
Just don't wear anything other than
red.
They might just let you get away with whatever Toro Rosso's called now, AlphaTauri. They might just let you get away with that, but anything else.
But a majority of them will be Ferrari fans.
Indeed, yes.
And hey, growing up as a Ferrari fan, completely justified.
Yes. I think, unlike the British though at Silverstone, they only support Ferrari. If someone overtakes a Ferrari, I've heard boos before now if everyone overtakes a Ferrari. At Silverstone, they just like a good race, the British fans. They don't care who wins as long as it's a cracking race. So I watched a classic race on Sky Sports the other day. It was 2003 when Barrichello won, and the cheer when he overtook and took the lead, it was almost like he was at his home race. The British fans just love a good race. Doesn't matter who wins. A bit more than the Italians.
Yeah. I do miss that old layout that included Bridge Corner, which you play your cards right, you can take that corner flat out.
Indeed, yes. I mean, Copse Corner now at Silverstone, you can almost do that now with the cars these days. Thing is, with the Ferrari fans here at Tifosi, they haven't had a lot to cheer about. No Ferrari has won. Well, they won last year, but before that, it was back in 2010. So they've only had 2 wins in 10 years here.
Yeah. But looking back on
And who
that
won the
race,
2010 race, Fraser?
oh, that was Fernando Alonso, if I'm right in saying.
It was indeed, yes. Made him love him even more. Right, here we go. Race 4 at Monza. Let's have a look how the start goes. Lights out, away we go. Great start from Smithy up at the front. And Ollie, though, had a brilliant start from second on the grid. Ollie takes the lead. Can he hold on to his turn on Mason as well? Third. Sam's having a good start as well. There is, oh, look at how late Mason's on the brakes. Mason's up into second, bumping over the curve, but he's just made it stick. Ollie in the lead. Mason second. That was brave. Brave. Touched foolhardy, but he made it stick on the outside of the first chicane. No contact from what I could see into the first corner, so good to see once again from all these drivers. Ollie, though, breaking away at the front. He does love this track. He finished fourth in the TOTD race here, so he always goes well around here. And I think that was his best result of the season as well, fourth place. But Joey Allen up to fourth once again. Another brilliant start from Joe Allen. He won the... So we actually finished ninth. So actually he's made quite a few places. Sorry, I made a mistake there. But Joe Newman's had a good start, up 3 places, and Matt Ashton up 4 places. So Basher's the big loser at the start of this race. He's lost 6 places at the start.
And oh, where finishes has been collision of Jamie and the Scottish King.
Yes, Jamie's got away with it. He's still going up into 8th place. Well, that's a tricky chicane to get right at the best of times. I don't know when you're alongside another car. But look at the lead Ollie has got here. 1.5 seconds at the end of lap 1. He has set off like a rocket. I mean, Mason, I haven't seen any other mistakes from him apart from down into turn 1. So it's Ollie, I think, pure pace. He's absolutely on it. Joey Allen getting close to Smithy on the run down to turn 1. Not quite close enough. Smithy a little bit wide. So that might give Joey the run on him. Into turn 1. Look out for the other car.
Oh, he's come wide. Smithy's come wide. And Joe takes advantage.
And look how close it is there. Matt Ashton there as well, Joe Newman.
How many places?
Look, oh, and Jamie's off. Jamie's off. And there's a big crash. Big crash. Smithy's off. Matt Ashton is out. Big crash down a curve at Grande.
Goodness me. I hope we come out straight down. Massive guys. One of the cars went airborne. Smithy out.
I was trying to change the camera angle. We saw a car go flying. I think that was Smithy went flying. And there was, well, I mean, like I said, narrow track here. You just about get 2 alongside. 3 alongside is never going to happen there. But Jamie has gone back into 8th place now. Meanwhile, Ollie has extended his lead to 2.2 seconds. We've got 3 cars out. Smithy, Matt Ashman, Sam Godwin. They're all out of the race. So Finish is actually going to get a couple of points here, because he's going to take 9th place. He's pitted at the end of lap 1. But look at how smooth and in control Ollie looks in the lead. In the sort of mini Pink Panther, like the F2 version of the Pink Panther, leading the race by 2 seconds from Mason.
Yeah, fastest lap of the race, 31.266. So you could end up getting a full house of points here.
Indeed, yes. And Joey Allen is 3rd. He'll be very happy with that, given the current point situation, because Jamie's down in 8th place. Scott Larvin up into 4th. And Joe Newman. Basher's getting... Basher's just past Liam Hardman. Runs a little bit wide in the first game. Liam trying to hang on around the outside. That's great.
Touch, but luckily...
A little bit of contact.
It gets through,
yeah,
cool as you like.
Yeah, so better way for that one. But Ollie's still pulling away. 2.6 seconds now in the lead. And Joey Allen is 5 seconds further back. So this is brilliant racing. So I'm just getting a little bit of lag on my stream. I apologise for anyone who's watching. But Ollie 3 seconds clear in the lead. And then Joey Allen 5 seconds behind the leader in 3rd place. So this is just brilliant by Ollie. This is the thing I noticed last week. You get some great individual performances in the events like this. We had Liam in the last race winning comfortably. Ollie at the moment looks like he's going to do that in this race. Yep. And there's big gaps now between the cars. It's not quite the slipstreaming epic I was expecting. But Joe Newman 5th, running through the field. Let's go through the race order. Ollie leads. There he is. Another fastest lap of the race. He leads by 3 seconds from this man, Mason. having another good race. Joe Allen, there he is, in third position. Scott Larvin, 3 seconds behind that in fourth. Then we've got Joe Newman with Liam Hardman right alongside him down into the first chicane. I think Liam is going to try and outbrake Joe. It's going to be tough from there. Can Joe hang on into the second? Still giving each other space though, and Joe's got the traction on the way out. So Joe Newman 5th, Liam Hardman 6th, Basher is 7th, then we've got Jamie Keats quite a long way back in 8th position, and then finishes in 9th. They are your runners at the moment. Oh, and Scott Larvin, no it's not, it's Mason Spun. Mason Spun at the second chicane from second place. Where is that going to drop him? Just caught the gravel on the exit of the second chicane.
Goes down to 5th.
Liam having some technical issues. He's had that for a couple of days. I was doing some races. I think it was a 10v10. He was having some technical issues actually. So Liam in 7th at the moment. But look at Ollie's lead now that Mason's gone. Ollie is 6 seconds clear of Joe. He's just about to start the final lap of the race. And this has been a stunning performance from Ollie in this 5-lap race. To have a 6-second lead is absolutely brilliant. Joe Allen will be delighted with this, with the points situation. This could almost put him out of touch now at the top, with Jamie Keats down in 8th. So last lap, Basher has got past Mason up into 5th place. So Mason drops to 6th. I don't think he's got any damage after that. So yes, he has. He's got a lot of front wing damage. So I think he's just going to try and hang on for the last lap. He's going to have a lot of understeer, and that's very bad round here.
Yeah, I've just done the maths regarding the championship standings. It will be 21 points the lead that Allen will have over Keats heading into the final race.
Yeah, so he'll only need to finish 7th to guarantee winning this event this evening. So Joe Newman gets a penalty. I think he's had another one, so that could be crucial because he's in 4th and he's only 3 seconds ahead of Basher. So that could be, watch that as they cross the line, the penalty count back. But Ollie,
Jamie gets into 7th.
The performance. I think this is the performance of the night from Ollie. He's been absolutely peerless at the front. A lot of drivers making mistakes behind him. He's made none at all. Like I said, he does like this track. Finished 4th here in the F1 race for TOTD a couple of races ago. So he always goes well here. And Ollie Cernan comes through to win in Italy. What a drive. 7 seconds clear. He sets fastest lap at the end as well. So 26 points at the moment going his way. Here comes Joe Allen. He finishes 2nd. Scott Larvin, he gets a moment of glory. He's on the podium. He comes home in 3rd. Joe Newman 4th. Basher comes home in. No, he does take 4th from Joe Newman. Mason 6th. Here comes Jamie Keats. He takes 7th. Liam Hardman comes across the line to finish 8th, and finish is going to finish in 9th place, getting 2 more points. So a lot of action there. Big crash in the middle of the race, but it all kind of died down for the last couple of laps. And the last race of the evening is going to be Japan.
There he goes.
Well, that's going to be interesting at Japan. Very narrow track there, very twisty. So, thank you to everyone watching this evening. We've actually got to almost viewing figures for a Saturday night, so that's great to see. So there we see. Got to say, I think that is my performance of the night. Ollie won that race comfortably. Great start from 2nd on the grid, and he just dominated from there. Never looked like going off or making a mistake there. Absolutely brilliant drive. So there we see confirmation. Ollie wins from Joe Allen. Scott Larvin 3rd, Basher in 4th, Joe Newman 5th, Mason 6th, Jamie 7th, Liam Hardman 8th, finish in 9th. Smithy does get a point because he's classified as 10th and he was the last to retire, so he will get a point despite retiring. Mashburn 11th and Sam finishes in 12th position. One race to go. And actually Ollie's got 27 points apparently there. I suppose I don't actually know why. So any second now we'll see a points update as we get ready for the last race. There we can see Joe Allen is 16 points clear of Ollie and 19 clear of Jamie Keats. So if he can finish in, I think, 5th position, that should be enough. 4th or 5th should be enough for him to win this event this evening. Jamie Keats on 51 points. Mason on 33. He's had a good couple of races despite the crash in the last race we've just seen. Matt Ashman on 31. Scott Larvin on 27. He has lost his crown this evening, I'm afraid. So unlucky Scott, better luck next week. Sam 7th on 25 points. Joe Newman on 23. Basher on 20. 14 for finish. As we are about to finish with the last event in Japan.
Yeah, the land of the rising sun, which will be seeing the sun set on another fantastic evening of racing.
Indeed, yes. Really, really showing what such great strength and depth of these drivers. Really, really is.
And from a racing fan's perspective, this is another one of my favourite tracks because it's delivered its fair share of highlights and moments over the years. In particular, the rivalry between Senna and Prost, and we all know how that turned out.
Yes, indeed, and it's had some great races here over the years. I remember Kimi Raikkonen winning from 15th on the grid in 2005.
Yeah,
took it on the last lap.
Yeah, that is up there as one of my favourite races of all time, and I don't often say that about races I really enjoy, but to be up there as one of my favourites of all time, you must have done something very special on the day.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and it's one of these racetracks as well. It really does benefit the best drivers in Formula 1. We only really see the best winning around here. Schumacher won round here 6 or 7 times. Hamilton's won here 5 or 6 times. Kimi Raikkonen's always gone well around here. Alonso as well. It's one of those. It's a proper driver's circuit, a bit like Spa.
Yeah,
and I think for me, it's one of those racetracks. If a rookie comes along and does well at Japan, then usually it means it's the real deal. The other race I really enjoyed here, I think it was 2012, was seeing Japan's own Kamui Kobayashi just throwing it up the inside into the hairpin of a few drivers and making it through. He's one of those underrated drivers, I think. But he had a great race that year, just threw it up the inside of so many cars and made it stick every time. It was great to watch.
I think just the reaction from the crowd every time that happened, and he even got onto the podium.
He did, yes. 2013, I think that was. He reached the podium.
No, that was the 2012 race. Sebastian Vettel won that day.
It was the 2012. Yes, because I remember Massa finished 3rd, didn't he, or 2nd or something like that. But yeah, Kobayashi on the podium.
Yeah, it was Vettel that won for Red Bull, Massa 2nd, and Kobayashi 3rd for Sauber.
And he was only the 2nd Japanese driver to take a podium at his home race as well. The other one was, Fraser?
Now you're testing me on that one. I know it wasn't Sato, but he has been on the podium once or twice before.
It was Aguri Suzuki back in 1990.
The man that went on to form Super Aguri, who only lasted a couple of years.
Yes, and he was driving a LaRousse as well. Their best ever finish in F1 as well. That was a great race as well for him.
I'll see if I can source that race from the archives to give it a watch. So yes, I mean, it's a great thing at the moment that the Sky F1 channel and their YouTube channel putting up so many great classic races. It's been great for me to watch. Yeah, as one of my
over the
favorites.
last couple of weeks.
Yeah, one of my favourite races over the last week or so was the 2008 British Grand Prix. Wet weather conditions. Hamilton winning his first home race, and then went on to win the championship in one of the most incredible climaxes I've ever watched.
Yeah, and when I watched the 2008 British Grand Prix, I've got to say, underrated drive was Nick Heidfeld that day, coming home second in a BMW. That was a good drive from him. But here we go, lights on, lights out, away we go. Sam on pole position, good start from him. He moves across to the right-hand side immediately. Matt Ashman alongside him, but he blocks him off down into turn one. And Sam Congreve leads into turn one. Is there going to be any contact? They're very well behaved there. That was good. It's a difficult turn one to get right when you're alongside another car, but Sam leads. Jamie Keats had a good start as well. He's up into third place. Joey Allen's actually dropped a place. Joey Allen's in last place. There's only 10 runners now in this race. We've lost 3, so all drivers who finish this race will get a point. We seem to have lost Mason. No, Mason Smithy's gone. Basher's gone as well. No, Basher's gone. I don't actually know who's gone. But anyway, Sam leads. Jamie third. Yep, Stephen's gone. I really want to see Finish have a good race here. A co-commentator, I'd love to see him have a good race. He's up in 4th place. He dropped a place from the start. But come on, Steve, have a good end to the event this evening. But Sam and Matt Ashman with Jamie Keats, they are very, very close up at the front. As it enters Spoon Curve, it's a difficult corner to get right, especially when you're trying to follow another car. But it's a crucial corner. It's such a long run down to the chicane, and Jamie Keats has had a great exit, absolutely great. He's all over Matt already, down to 130R. Is he going to do what Alonso did to Schumacher in 05, go around the outside? He is indeed. And Matt Ashman has to get out of it. So great move, and now he's challenging Sam out front.
He's challenging for the win.
He
wants that win this evening.
He does indeed. Joe Newman gets a penalty, but Sam's still leading, but that was brave. Definitely shades of Fernando Alonso there around the outside of Schumacher. And look at this, down into turn 1. Jamie's got a great run once again, and Jamie takes the lead. This is going to be very interesting with the point situation, because Joe Allen's only in 8th place, so this could be amazing. Joe knows it. 4th or 5th will probably give him the result. Ollie is
Jimmy
19 points down.
Yeah.
At the moment, he's doing enough.
He'll win it by 2 points as things stand.
Yeah, so if he can get the fastest lap as well, he'll get an extra point. So Joe under pressure. Let's try and find him. There he is. He's in 8th place. He's got Basher and Ollie right behind him. So he's not really pushing those ahead of him at the moment. He's under pressure. So Joe Allen, 8th position. He had 2 cracking races at the start. And he's sort of slid into the midfield for the remainder of the races, hasn't he? 9th in Hungary. Yeah. Finished 2nd in the last race though, thanks to others crashing.
Yeah.
But this is great to see.
Absolutely. Despite a poor showing in 1 or 2 of the races this evening.
That was brave. Joe Newman's gone around the outside of finish into Spoon Curve, finishing out what Mason alongside him. That was brave by Joe Newman, but he's made a mistake. I've never seen one go around the outside of Spoon before, and now Mason's got a good run up to 130. Not quite enough. Scott Larvin's in there as well. This is absolutely great. So Scott's now had a great run out of 130. Can he have a look around the outside? Not quite close enough. Oh, and finish has gone off. He's got cut across the chicane. He has cut. Oh, and a spinner. Scott Larvin spun coming out of the final chicane. Out of the final chicane, Scott Larvin spins it. Bit too much wheel spin, and he's down to last place. So that lifts Joe up to 7th. So he's still losing 19 points, but Jamie's got fastest lap. So at the moment, it would mean that Jamie would win by a point.
1 single point. That would. How amazing would that be? Shades of James Hunt, Niki Lauda, 1976. Granted, that was around the Fuji circuit, but still Japanese Grand Prix regardless.
So what would happen then, Fraser? You would know this more than I would. What would happen if there's a tie? Do we have a shootout or what?
Well, it would go to countback based on how many wins the drivers have. Joe Allen's got 2. I don't think Jamie's had any wins this evening.
No, he hasn't.
So based on countback, it would be Joe Allen that would win on countback.
It does go to show though with these events, being 5 races, consistency is key. Jamie's not won a race, but he's in with a shout of winning this. Alan's had 2 good races, but he had a bad race in Hungary by his standards, finishing 9th, and that's put everyone back up there.
Oh, so he had to go and finish round through the curve.
6th place at the moment will do it for Joe. And I think he knows it, that's why he's pushing finish very hard. Let's have a look down into finish going defensive. Joe's going to have to go around the outside. That was brilliant driving by both of them there. Finished you, there was no point fighting that one too hard. There was only a big accident. Oh, Ollie throws it up the inside into the last chicane, finishes on in the last second and makes it stick. So Ollie up into 7th place. Finish has just got a good run though around the outside. And who's going to have DRS on those 2? I think it will be Ollie. Well, they both got DRS. Down into turn 1. That is either going to be a great move or a horrible accident into turn 2. They still will do it, but I think Ollie will just hang on to that. Yes, he has. Finished slots in behind. So Jamie now leads by 2.5 seconds from Sam. So again, another race where a driver is dominating it, and it is Jamie Keats this time. So, lap 4 of the race, the second to last lap of the race. Jamie's pulled out 2.5 second lead, so again, if he can just keep it on the road, make no mistakes, that should be enough. Matt Ashman's further 3 seconds back in 3rd place, but he's got quite a comfortable gap, so there's a big battle going on for 4. Joe Newman, Mason, Joey Allen at the moment is in 6th position. That's all he needs to clinch this championship. He's 19 points clear of Jamie, and he's losing. Jamie's got fastest lap as well, so he's losing 18 points so far. If he can get past Joe as well, which he's not, or Mason, sorry, he's not far behind, that would seal it with a few points to spare. But Jamie Keats looking peerless out front. Joe Newman is under pressure from Mason down into 130R. Got quite close enough though as they go through there. Oh, Joe a little bit wide. Get away with that tarmac run-off these days. Used to be grass and gravel back in the good old days. Jamie sets another fastest lap.
I don't think Joe's too concerned about the fastest lap. He's just going to finish as high as he can. Mason's got DRS.
Mason's had a good run. Final lap of the race. Mason trying to run the inside. He's made it stick. You've got to say, Mason, he's an F2 driver, I believe. He's showing some great pace against these F1 veterans here. Really, and some good racecraft as well. Very good racecraft.
That's the great thing with these events. It's a good opportunity for these F2 drivers to show the F1 managers what they can do to encourage them to get these drivers into a seat at the next transfer window, which will be before
end of the season now.
Absolutely.
All seats in F1 have been sealed to the end of the season. So with a few more of these events, if F2 drivers can shine at these events, like you said, they could end up being offered a contract for next season. But Jamie Keats now nearly 4 seconds clear. He's done all he can in this race. He's driven superbly, but Joe Allen hanging on to 6th position. He's closing up on Joe Newman now. He might just take 5th, but he's got to watch out because Ollie and Finish aren't far behind. So one mistake from Joe Allen, it could be all over for him, and Jamie Keats to snatch the title. But here we go. Jamie Keats out on the final lap of the race through 130 yards. A bit of grass on the inside there, but he'll get away with that. Into the final chicane. And Jamie Keats, another fine drive. His teammate had one at Monza. But Jamie Keats
Joe
wins
into 5th.
in
Joe
Japan.
Allen's into 5th. We abreast into the chicane. And Joe Allen.
Sam takes 2nd. Let's have a look.
Oh no!
Joe Allen's up to, well, this is going to make Joe Allen 6.
Joe into 5th. He's done it. Joe Allen wins this evening.
Yes, it will all be confirmed in a second, but I think you're right. Joe Allen takes 5th. Such a close finish there. At one point he was 8th, and it looked like he was going to lose it, but he comes home 5th. I think that is enough for him to snatch the title this evening from Scott Larvin, our reigning champion. But Jamie Keats had a great last race.
It was 3 abreast heading into that the Castillo chicane.
There we see confirmation of the result. Jamie Keats wins from Sam. Matt Ashman in 3rd, finishing 4th. It's a good race for him as well to come home in 4th place. Joe Allen 5th, Mason 6th, and it was the penalties that did it. Mason, Joe Newman and Basher all had penalties, but for that they would have finished ahead of Joe Allen. Ollie in 9th, Scott Larvin picks up the last point in 10th position. So any second now we're going to see confirmation of the final result. Just waiting for everyone to load up final points standings after these 5 races this evening, and it's been 5 great races to watch.
Absolutely,
great wheel racing up and down the field.
I've just done the maths, and 27 points for Jamie, 10 points for Joe, 19 points difference heading into this race. Joe takes it by 2 points.
Well, I mean, Joe looks high and dry after 2 or 3 races, didn't he? He looked like he was absolutely going to walk it, and it's ended up so tight at the end. Still waiting for my screen to load. My screen isn't loading, unfortunately.
But I've got the standings in front of me. Joe Allen 2 points ahead of Jamie. Fantastic battle to the end. Ollie in 3rd, great performance from him this evening. Matt Ashman 4th. Well, it's a lucky job I managed to screenshot the championship standings. I'll get that shared into the group chat shortly.
Here we go. Finally, we got it loading up. Let's see. I'm sure you're right, Fraser, but we'll get absolute final confirmation on this any second now. Yes. Oh, the points have disappeared. That's helpful. But yes, I'm absolutely sure you're right. Joe Allen wins it by 2 points from Jamie, with Ollie 3rd and Matt Ashman in 4th place. So there we go. It's all over. Thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in this evening. Thank you very much to Fraser for being alongside me in the commentary box.
Always a pleasure to be commentating alongside you.
And don't forget, everyone, we've got the quiz on Zoom tomorrow night. I will put confirmation of that on the group chat. And then we're back to the main leagues on Saturday. F1 and F2 all racing. Looking forward to see you then. Goodbye for now, everyone.
See you later.